Hello and welcome to a new video. In today's video we're going to take a look at Necrozma and also Mewtwo. Two Pokemon that are maybe a bit rarer nowadays, especially the Mewtwo. As people think that this Pokemon is bad, trust me, this team was so far the best Master League team I've played so far. Definitely the best Master League team I've played so far. If you haven't seen my last video, we also took a look at a very interesting Master League team with Rayquaza. Both of those teams worked insanely well for me, so if you want to have a team for yourself, of course, those include veterinary Pokemon, try those out. Like, those are really worth it. I would really recommend you to give both of them a try. And as you can see, yeah, the first opponent makes a little bit of a misplay there. I guess they did not really understand the pacing of Mewtwo correctly. As we'll see as well, we're going to be able to align ourselves. But not only this, Mewtwo showcases again on why this Pokemon is so strong. Like, this double Psychic duo was absolutely amazing. And of course, we need an answer for something like an Yveltal, which you're going to have here in the lead with the Xerneas. But I have to say, like, Yveltal, I think I only encountered one with this team, which of course is going to be very lucky for me, but yeah, we're gonna see all the battles here anyway. Broguiere is going to be a very interesting one for sure. We're going to see the swap on to the Kyogre. What do we want to do here? I'm going to decide to go for the close combat. Why do I do this? We have the advantage of the opponent swapping out, giving us a 1-free turn. And if we go for a charge move and then swap out straight away, we don't need a turn to swap out. And so with this, we were able to deny a fast move from the opponent. And there were two things that could have happened. Either the opponent uses a shield, which they did in this case, which is fine. Then we can retaliate here with a shield as well. Or they let the move go through. What would happen if they let the move go through? It would allow us to put the opponent into range for a Side Strike from our Mewtwo. So they had two options and both of them were great for us, while gaining basically also the advantage of not having to lose the turn from swapping out by going for a charge move and denying the opponent's fast move. So that was a very easy trade for us. And so as you can see, the opponent's Palkia comes in, we can go for a Moonblast. I don't even want to risk another Awkward Tail. This is going to one-shot the opponent guaranteed. And so we're in a great spot. Of course, we don't even have a shield here on the opponent's part. As we then see the Primarina in the back, Moonblast going to land, Moonblast going to do around like 70% health, I would imagine, around there, exactly. And with this, we're going to put them into farm down range, never mind, into Side Strike range of our Mewtwo, which is going to be perfect. And we will see as well the opponent having enough and they're going to forfeit, or like they're going to get farmed out anyway, and we can move on to the next opponent. Let's see if this game going to be as smooth sailing. I know the opponent as well. I know that they are a very experienced player and a player that is also, I guess, a little bit more into grinding with their Zygarde. To be fair, I could have got a Zygarde as well at this point. Don't get me wrong, like, I play the game enough to do this. I just completely forgot about routes every single time I go outside, and that is totally on my behalf, I guess. There is a route directly next to where I live as well, which I would go anyway if I go out for Pokemon Go. I just never do it because I always forget, and also I don't really care. I am honest, I don't really care too much about Zygarde. Like, yes, the Pokemon is cool. Yes, the opponent has even Bulldoze, which I didn't even realize at the time. They get the debuff as well. I don't care. Like, honestly, I just don't care about Zygarde. Yes, good Pokemon. Yes, it's the best Pokemon that you can have for Ultra and Master League. But isn't it a bit lame? Like, I don't know. Like, is it the stuff that you want to see? It's like using basically Chansey in the Great League. Cool for maybe one video, but afterwards, is it worth it? And for me, it's just not worth the effort. Like, I have people sometimes sending in some battles with Zygarde. I will love showcasing them as well. But for me, just putting in the effort there, not really. I'd just rather spend my time doing other stuff, to be fair. But yeah, again, it is definitely easily possible to have routes at this point of time, just not for me here. Sadly, we're going to lose, and that's fine, and we can move on to the next opponent. We definitely had a little bit of a tough matchup in the last battle, but in this battle, we're going to start off already very, very good with Xerneas against the Palkia. We're going to have the option here now to go for a Moonblast. Moonblast is going to allow us to either get the guaranteed KO or getting the shield from the opponent, which is way more likely. I don't think I got a debuff with my Moonblast today, which is something quite unusual because it's 10% chance, and literally every single video I usually have the debuff there. But maybe I forgot one. Maybe we still see one here today. They want to try to catch the move here onto their own Necrozma, and I go for the close combat. What does this do? It's gonna allow us to put them into farmland range for our own Necrozma. We haven't really talked too much about Necrozma so far. Necrozma Down Wings is our closer for this team. It is very important to give this Pokemon energy advantage or shield advantage in order to really showcase on how strong this Pokemon can be, which you will see here. Bye-bye. And yeah, that's very important for you if you want to try to play this team as well. It's not a great Pokemon in the back here if you have a shield disadvantage or if you have like energy disadvantage, because then you just don't really have the bulk. You don't really have the fast charge move power, which other Pokemon like the Mewtwo would have. But you know what we have here? A Roar of Time coming through, which is actually okay. Here were also two options basically for the opponent. Either they go for the Roar of Time here, allowing me to go for 2 close combat, or they overfarm by a little bit, allowing me to go for a Side Strike. A Side Strike would have put them into range for 1 close combat, and there was nothing the opponent could have done to win the battle, and that is totally fine. As you're gonna see here, we're gonna win this one, and we can move on to the next opponent. Perfect lead, Zygarde complete, and they swap out into the Solgaleo, and I screw this matchup a little bit up, but we're gonna talk about this right now. The opponent has the option to go for the Psychic Fangs. It's going to be a resisted hit, as you're going to be also the Psychic typing as well as the Ghost typing, and so it is not really something I want to shield, to be fair. But now we're gonna run into the situation where we are running low on health, and the opponent has Fire Spin, which got buffed I think twice at this point already, and that is not really ideal. The benefit of at least here Solgaleo, like the thing that kind of hold it back, is that other Pokemon that are good against it got buffed as well. Otherwise this Pokemon would be literally everywhere currently. But yeah, we're gonna decide to use a no shield here against the opponent. It's gonna be another Psychic Fangs. I want to get rid of them, so I just go for the Side Strike. At this point, I just hope that they don't have a Pokemon in the back that I can't deal with my own Xerneas. And as you're gonna see, it's going to be the Necrozma in the back, and that is quite brutal. This is going to be a matchup that I don't want to have, and especially as you see now the Iron Head, it's going to be a very tough one. And they even catch the move here, the Close Combat, onto their Zygarde, which makes it even worse. And so I have to kinda come up here with a plan. Do you try to go for like a Shadow Ball or something like this against the opponent's Necrozma in order to try to get the knockout? Do I leave it basically with my little deer here? I'm not too sure right now. And I decide to go ahead and no shield. I was hoping at this point that the best play is for me to go ahead and go for back-to-back basically close combat against the opponent's Necrozma and knock them out with this one. It is just a neutral hit. I am not too sure if this was a smart idea. And as you will see, it is going to be a very, very close one. First close combat is coming in. Is it enough? Is it not enough? I have no idea at this point. Can we one-shot them here with this one? Let's see. We cannot, and we can still get at least 2 fast moves in to knock them out. And with this, we can move on to the next opponent. While you might think this is going to be a very good matchup for us, you are most likely wrong with that. The issue here is, while yes, we win the 0 shield scenario, we very likely win the 1 shield scenario. I'm not too sure if we're gonna win the 2 shield scenario, but the opponent doesn't even try to get to that point, and I make a big mistake here. And this mistake I actually really regret is I decided to go for a Dark Pulse here. I should have just went for the full farm down, not going for any charge move. I could have used a shield if I wanted to. I should have actually not even used a shield here, to be fair. But now I'm in the position where the opponent can farm me down with the super effective Shadow Claw, which is double super effective. I can get a shield here, but the opponent's energy they gain is ridiculous, and this is a ginormous mistake that I made there. And I was kinda clear about this. As soon as I went for the Dark Pulse, I was like, that was not the correct play. I should have just let the opponent go for a charge move. I should have just played the matchup out. And with this, we're going to be in a position where it's going to be very tough for us to still win this one. There's going to be the Shadow Ball coming through. I go straight for the Side Strike. I cannot really allow my Mewtwo to go down here from all the fast move pressure. And they let the move go through, revealing that they're going to have the Charmer of Primarina in the back here. And it's going to be a very close matchup. But the game is not over yet. We're going to see here, 1 Side Strike is going to connect. It's doing a ton of damage. Can we farm them down in time? Can we go for 2 Side Strikes? I am not too sure about it. We have to hope that we're going to get the inconsistency, that we get to another Side Strike in time. We do not, and this was my mistake. This was totally my mistake. I could have played this so easily and would have won this game so easily, but I didn't. And that is definitely something I learned here. Anyway, something that we should learn as well is the matchup here of Landorus against our Xerneas. And you see me swapping out here straight away. Why do I do this? So, with the recent update of Mudshot, there is now the pacing issue of Landorus. Landorus doesn't get to its move as fast anymore, which was really needed because his Pokemon was too broken beforehand. Now it's still a solid Pokemon, but just not broken. What this means is, every opponent that has a Landorus in lead against your Xerneas will go for their first charge move after using 7 turns, or like 7 fast moves against you. They need 6 to get to 1 Sancia Storm, so they are 1 over. Mewtwo needs 5 fast moves to go for 1 Side Strike. What this means is, if you let the opponent go for a charge move, don't go for your own charge move on the Xerneas, swap out. You basically keep all the energy on your Xerneas, while also still outspeeding the opponent's Landorus with your Mewtwo because of that basically difference that you're gonna win the CMP tie. You're gonna CMP tie with the opponent with that. And yeah, we have to hope that we're still going to be able to win this battle here. It's going to be a bit of a tough one, but basically we're going to be in the prime position to do this. The opponent goes for a charge move here as well against us. I'm not too sure if it's going to be able to knock us out. It is not, and they're gonna get the attack drop here. How that's 100%, of course. It's not. It's of course we're always gonna get it. Moonblast coming through. We don't get the debuff here. Do we go for the full farm down? I decided to do this, and this was very risky, but it worked out quite well. As now we can go for that hard hitting Moongeist beam, and we see as well that we need another Dark Pulse to get the KO against the opponent. But that was very fortunate for us, of course, as they're gonna be able to get the KO, and we can move on to the next opponent. We're going to have a very neutral lead, but they swap out into the Prima Arena, and this is going to be a matchup that I think is going to be okay for me. I don't have any damage on me yet, and I'm also going to have the option to very likely farm them down here if I use a shield, and that's exactly what I'm going to try to do. I'm not too sure if it's actually going to work out, but we will try our best here. And so, let's see on how this is going to go. We're going to go for the full farm down, and it works out perfectly. We have 100 energy. We can go for a side strike. I was able to go for an extra fast move here just to have a tiny bit of damage extra onto them, but we can go for another move now afterwards as well. And the opponent should be at like, I think 3 or 4 waterfalls. I can swap out into my Necrozma. Necrozma is going to be in a position here where we cannot speed them. Look at this, we have the Dark Pulse stored already. Goodbye Kyogre, or they have to use a shield here. Well, let's see what they do. They decide to use a shield. So they're shieldless. I have energy advantage, and as said before already, energy advantage is the most important thing. They go for the Origin Pulse. Huge mistake, and they decide to forfeit there. Origin Pulse, of course, takes away more energy away compared to the Surf. But yeah, you're gonna see this swap out into the Xerneas from the opponent. Again, kind of similar play that we saw before. I go for the charge move here because the opponent takes 1 turn for swapping out. We don't take a turn for swapping out if you go for a charge move beforehand. If you do it basically exactly after the charge move, you don't take that extra turn. You only take that extra turn if you swap out without having your own charge move beforehand. And so I was able to deny 1 Geomancy from the opponent. And this matchup is a guaranteed victory for Mewtwo. But at this point, we can even overfarm by quite a bit. They go for the close combat. I decided to just go for the side strike here straight afterwards. I could have even decided to go for a shield and fully farm them down. But yeah, this is going to be the better play. They go into the Necrozma. I can still go for the side strike. Any kind of damage is definitely helpful for us. It's double resisted, but at the end of the day, we're gonna maybe put them into range. I can fully farm them down with my own Necrozma, and that's exactly what we're gonna try to do here. We have to use a shield. It's going to be the Dark Pulse coming through, and we can go for our own Dark Pulse straight afterwards, which is going to allow us to get the opponent hopefully into a range where we can, oh wait, they're gonna go ahead and go for a shield. They're gonna go ahead and go for a charge move. They're gonna be able to knock us out. Can we still win this one though? We have to hope of Xerneas now. We're gonna go for the close combat against the opponent. Luckily, they don't try to catch the move, and this is going to be insanely important. But what we saw as well already is we have a ton of extra energy, even though we just got to the move, and this allows us to get to the Moonblast 1 early. But can we take the hit from the opponent? It is going to be the awkward here. We had -2 defense, but we can still take the hit with the deer. And oh my dear, we're going to be able to get the KO here, and we can move on to the next one. At this point of time, I would really appreciate it if you still watch here and you enjoyed the video so far, if you could leave a like on the channel. It would really help me out. It is free. And yeah, that's all that I really ask for you. But also, just generally, thanks so much for watching even until this point. We still have 3 battles to go here. But yeah, I really appreciate you taking your time, especially during the kind of Christmas period right now, to watch my content. And also, I don't appreciate you, Yveltal. This is going to be a bit of a difficult matchup. And to be fair, I feel like Mewtwo's charge moveset could be different for this team. I feel like Focus Blast makes the most amount of sense here. But of course, Shadow Ball is an elite move. And the issue for me is that I don't have elite TMs currently. I think I have like 2. And I don't really want to get rid of an elite move just for this one video here. So there are occasions where Shadow Ball is better, for example, in the lead. There are occasions where Shadow Ball is worse, for example, here as a Say-Sop. So yeah, it is definitely a bit of an interesting choice. It really depends on your team as well. But as you will see here, the opponent is going to go ahead and go for a charge move against us. It's going to be the Surf. We're going to let the move go through, and we're going to try our best to go for a Dark Pulse against the opponent. This is going to allow us to get the knockout against the opponent. It's going to be still the Yveltal on the back then. So sadly, we're going to lose this battle. Yes, this was the one Yveltal battle that we had. Again, this team could be a bit better against the Yveltal if you would have coverage on your Mewtwo, for example, against it. For example, an Ice Beam even would help you out with it. And something I didn't expect here today would be the Necrozma in the form that we are running here as well in the lead. That is going to be very, very difficult for us. The thing is, we have a plan. what we need to do is we need to get damage onto the opponent. It doesn't matter how much damage it is, we just need a little bit of damage, so we can go for the full farm down here. They swap out into the Zamazenta. Spicy Team from the opponent. I nearly built my Zamazenta as well. I still need a little bit of XL candy for this Pokemon, but I mainly built it as well already. It's very, very close, to be fair. I think I need like 2 more power-ups for it. But yeah, this Pokemon, very cool, has access to Crunch. Look at our team, look at the Crunch weakness that we have. It is a little bit of an issue, but what we can do next is we can go ahead and go for that Moongeist Beam, get the shield, and we can swap out onto the Mewtwo, because I know I can take a Crunch. I am very certain here that we're going to be able to take that hit. We just hope that we don't get that debuff. The debuff can actually be very, very impactful, because this might allow the opponent now to fully farm us down. Never mind, they go into the Dialga. That's going to be better for us. What we can do next is we can go for a close combat here, and I think we survive an Iron Head. I think from this range, we barely survive the Iron Head, and that is super important because now we have to go for the charge move, but I also have to hope that my own Necrozma is enough to knock out the opponent here. We're going to swap out immediately into our Necrozma. The opponent is going to have to take a Dark Pulse here. And that is scary. I just cannot allow the opponent to get too much damage onto me, but I need some more energy here on my Pokemon. We get a ton of energy. Can we get to another charge move here? We cannot, and we... Wait, we have still these areas, we can knock them out and win the battle. Palkia is going to be next against us in lead. Amazing lead for us. We have to be a bit mindful that they don't catch the Moonblast on something maybe like a Necrozma. That would be great. Yeah, a bit of foreshadowing here maybe, but it is okay. Again, we want just some damage on the opponent, because this will allow us to even get to the move here in time. Sneaky, sneaky, going to allow us to get either shield or the KO, and so the opponent's gone. We keep alignment. We keep our Fairy type against the opponent's Dragon type Pokemon. They're still forced to go for a charge move against us with the Palkia, because otherwise they have to use a shield against us. And that is perfect. And you see me here not going for a charge move as well, because I would rather force the opponent to use a shield, but also we can take a hit here. It is no problem. It's literally no problem, but we also got the opponent already into range for our Mewtwo, and they're gonna get to another charge move here, and I'm like, I hope they don't have another Dark-type Pokemon in the back there. They have Kyogre, and that's actually perfect, because what you saw there as well is I kept all of my energy on my Xerneas. I didn't go for a charge move. Why didn't I do this? The opponent stopped out there, and if they would have got another fast move in there, and I go for close combat, my health would be a little bit too low with my Xerneas. I still need one more fast move to go for the back-to-back close combat. And I just hope at this point that back-to-back close combat is exactly what I need to knock out the opponent's Palkia at this range, but I have to still get rid of the shields from the opponent. The first shield should be gone with a Side Strike from Mewtwo. Can I swap out afterwards? I can swap out. I need another fast move. I can go for the close combat, and it's now back-to-back close combat, and this should be game, because I can see Impeta against the opponent here, but it didn't even go for a charge move anyway, allowing us now to win this battle, and this is going to be it, showcasing again on how strong this team is. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to leave a like, and I will see you then. Bye-bye.